and welcome back to another video. I appreciate all the love that you have been showing on this channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. But in this video, as you can tell from the title, I'll be going over the top 5 entry-level cybersecurity jobs that you should be looking out for. I will go through a slight bit of the day-to-day and just maybe some of these you have heard before, some of these you might not have heard of before, but let me know down in the comments. So this first role, you might have heard it before. This is the role that is most common for people to get into when they first start. I would say from experience seeing classmates and people that I know, this is the route most people like to go. And this is a security analyst or a SOC analyst. This role can vary from company to company, but most times security analysts are mainly over reviewing alerts. So you will get alerts of like potential data breaches from employee laptops. Maybe they are trying to download an unauthorized software or something like that. So you'll get alerts from stuff like that. You are mainly looking at logs. If you think about it like this, a security analyst or a SOC analyst is mainly, it's like a digital security guard. If you think of it like that, just they're not reviewing cameras, they're reviewing logs. So, and this role, like I said, that's the main basis of the role. But in certain companies, they do a lot more, or you can do just that. So it varies, but this is the more entry-level technical role that you will get into if you're looking to, hunt down threats and stuff like that. This is where you'll be thrown into. Not thrown into, because it's not a bad role at all. This is where you learn to get the fundamentals and learn how to triage threats and stuff like that. So, like I said, think of it as a digital security guard. So instead of looking at cameras or walking around the perimeter looking at things, you're also looking at a digital perimeter. So you're looking at employees' laptop alerts. You're looking at logs to see if anything is abnormal and monitoring those alerts. So that's a SOC analyst role. So this next role is kind of dear to me, just because this is where I started off at, and that's the GRC Analyst role. In this role, you will be working more so with policies and documents and risk assessments and things like that, other than like the hands-on technical components. So you'll still need to know those things, but you wouldn't be super technical in this role. GRC stands for Governance, Risk, and Compliance. If you didn't know, this role actually can be split up into 2 or 3 roles. But at the entry level, you will be tagged with that GRC title. But you will be working with different teams to make sure that the company is in compliance, basically. So you will write policies, you will do risk assessments, you might help with getting ready for external auditors to come in, making sure that we cross our I's and dot our T's, stuff like that. So you'll be working more so not in a technical role, but you will be in a compliance role, making sure that the company is in compliance and operating in a good state from a security perspective. So, yeah. So this next role is identity and access management. In this role, you're mainly over who has access to what. And this role sounds pretty boring, but it's one of the most important roles within security, really. You control, like, say if someone leaves the company, you control making sure that person no longer has access to the company's data and making sure everything is deprovisioned. If someone moves up to a new role, whether they get demoted or get promoted, you make sure that they have the correct access that they need to do that role. Nothing more, nothing less. You work in least privilege. That's what you'll keep in your mind. But yeah, this role provisions access and make sure the people that has access, or make sure we are ready for like auditors and stuff to say, hey, these people have access to this server or whatever. So you will make sure that you know who has access to what and if they actually need access to that thing. So that's what you do in that role. So this next role is kind of exciting. It's like one of the more exciting roles on this list. So this next role is vulnerability management analyst. In this role, you will be mainly searching for the weaknesses in the system, basically. So you would most of the time it should be automated. If you're working for a big company, it's going to be an automated process. So you'll just scan all of the assets in the company. Might not scan them all in the same day. You might, depending on what size company that you work for, but you'll basically scan all the assets, see what vulnerabilities those assets have on them, and make sure you get with the correct teams that own those assets to get those vulnerabilities remediated. So vulnerability management analysts will basically that manage the vulnerabilities that are in the system. Make sure that you're working from a perspective to protect the most crucial assets and the data that lies on those. So I think it's fun. I think this is a role that if you're trying to get into penetration tests, this is a good role to kind of get you to that next step towards that, because you're working with vulnerabilities, and that's what you do in a penetration test is find vulnerabilities on systems and things like that. So I think this is a good entry level role to look out for if you are interested in penetration testing. So this last one is probably something that you have heard before, and you probably was expecting it to be on this list. But this is the IT support or IT help desk role. This role do have security components in it. Mainly like stuff like resetting passwords, resetting MFA. You might have to triage a phishing email or send out phishing campaigns, maybe. Um, yeah, so in this role, you will learn a lot of different things in security. You might think it's so small, but a lot of times you can take that and just build on it. So do not sleep on IT help desk roles. These are great roles to get your foot in the door and move up. I don't know a lot of people that start. I started as a technical support. If you go back and check out my other videos, I share how I got into cybersecurity and in my role now. And I started as IT help desk. So yeah, this concludes this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it made sense to you. If you can, make sure that you like this video and comment down below what job role that you started in, if you already in cybersecurity, or what role would you like to start in, or what role would you feel like fit you best in the path that you want to go. So make sure you do that. Comment down below, and if you don't already, subscribe so you can see my next videos. I'm pushing these things out, man. Peace.